when the Abbey Church was built. It was built by, Marcel Breuer, and they decided to engage the best at the time, in all ways, whether that be the stained glass windows, even the organ. So they got a guy named with the last name Holtkamp. He's at the end of his career, had a pretty famous career building organs, and I don't know why they didn't create the organ to the size that it could have been in the space, because it's a huge space, but it wasn't a real show organ. It wasn't built to the full potential. And so 60 years go by, and this desire kind of reappears that we bring it to its full potential. And so they went around to some of the top organ builders in the United States, and eventually went down to Omaha to check out an instrument by Martin Pasi and Pasi Organ Builders. And Martin Pasi is at the top of his game in organ building, one of the most sought after ones in the United States. That idea of an organ is really half of the space that it's in. And so this was a unique space, the Abbey Church, and he recognized that. And he also had admiration for Holtkamp and what he was able to do. And he saw that he would actually be able to build upon that base that was there and really create a world-class instrument, which he has. And Abbey Woodworking got involved when Martin found out that there was a wood shop on campus. Benedictine monasteries have long been involved in organ building. So the wood additions, they're on the right and left side of the screen, and just out of sheer ability for space. These are from 16 to 32 feet tall, so they need to have that height in there. And the tallest one actually goes up into the cove, into the Abbey Church. And not many places, I guess, have that ability to have these size of pipes. Form follows function, and so this is an organ. It needs space, so why not keep it in sight as well? Don't hide it behind something, but let people actually see, those individual pipes for what they are. Some of the top organists will be here performing on it, and it'll become not just for the liturgical and the religious aspect of it, but also a cultural aspect for central Minnesota, and the state of Minnesota is probably the premier organ. I say, after actually knowing what goes into it, and the theory and the artistry, I do think it is probably the most dynamic instrument that's out there. And there's pockets in the church where it's more intense. It's because where the sound waves kind of bounce off each other and focus. If you sit in that point and they press on that lower 32-foot C, your chest just vibrates. And so it's kind of a physical feeling to the organ, where usually, the horns and the high pitches and things like that, but then there's this just kind of feeling that just kind of just shakes you kind of to the core. So it's a unique feeling to have. It's fundamental in our life. And so to have an instrument that is not only does well at accompanying us to kind of sing, the joys, I think there's also a big part of our life that, we come to prayer with where we're at. And this organ is able to meet those moods in different ways. And so for us as a monastic community, I think the organ means support for what we're doing. But it's also, I think, really highlights what the liberal arts is all about. So you have this mixture of woodworking, so you got the manual labor, you got the artistic craft, then you have music, then you kind of have the engineering of the whole thing, of how do you get all these things in place, the mechanics to it, that all these things come together to create something for the joy and beauty of others to enjoy.